Providing feedback to students in online classes. Most of us who have taught in traditional classrooms know that one of the key features of teaching a face-to-face class is meeting with students outside of class or before or after class starts to provide them feedback on their work, whether it be a paper or a question they have about a particular issue that you're studying in the class. In an online class, this can be a little bit more challenging, but there are a number of different methods to use besides just traditional email and text-based messaging that can facilitate communication with students to provide them feedback. Three alternative methods include using a screencast to provide feedback on papers or presentations, using something like SoundCloud to provide audio feedback to students, and providing feedback to groupings of students. We're going to talk a little bit about each of these methods. First, consider creating a screencast. We've covered how to create a basic screencast in an earlier tutorial. If you missed it, the basic tutorial is available at the website listed on the screen. Using a screencast to simulate a face-to-face meeting with a student about a paper and give feedback with visual and audio cues can be a helpful way of helping a student to understand the deficits that they may have in their particular paper or work and the strengths that you want to articulate to them as you're providing them with feedback. I can, for example, pull up a section of a student's paper and explain to them exactly where I feel like they need to work additionally to improve their paper. I could point out missing commas. I can also point out sentences that I think need to be further developed, or praise them on certain parts of their paper that I think have been well written. By having this audio and visual tool to provide feedback on a paper, I'm enhancing my ability to communicate with the student in an online environment and providing them with the same kinds of benefits that a student in a face-to-face class might get. As we've talked about before, however, anytime you try something new, especially in an online class, it's important to visually explain to your students how to access this new thing that you're trying in order to help them avoid some of the frustration that comes with trying out new technology. So what you see on your screen now is a YouTube video that I created for my students to help them understand how to access this different kind of feedback on their paper. Hi everyone. I wanted to give you a heads up on the way that I am giving you feedback for your out of comfort zone paper. So this is going to walk you through how to access that feedback. I'm trying something a little bit different this semester, so hope you like it. If you will go to the left-hand side of your screen in Blackboard and click on Grades, you should see your grades. Obviously mine looks a little bit different than you because I'm just using a demo user, kind of a sample student, so I don't have all of the grades that you do. But if you will scroll down to where it says out of comfort zone paper, you'll see it says grade, and that's your grade on the paper. But if you click on comments, you will see an MP4 file pop up. If you click on that, so this is the sample feedback that you'll receive, and you can see that it's the rubric. You'll see on the very far right hand side of the screen, it shows you how many points you earned versus how many points were available. I also have some comments in the middle of the rubric, and you'll hear my voice kind of going through those and explaining those in a little bit more detail. So hopefully this will give you a little bit more personalized feedback than you might typically get in an online class. And hopefully it works and you like it. So that's it. So yeah, hopefully it works and you like it, like I said. Another tool that can be used to provide audio feedback to students is called SoundCloud. The good thing about SoundCloud is that many of our students are already familiar with it because they use it to create playlists with their digital music media. And so SoundCloud is something that is already familiar to some of them. For others, though, it's not difficult to use and it's a free program. This is a video that I created to teach my students how to set up SoundCloud for themselves so that we could use it in place of a text discussion board during the semester, just to kind of shake things up a little bit. But the same concepts that I explain about how to set up SoundCloud would work for you as an instructor in providing audio feedback to your students about any number of topics. Hi everyone, this is just a quick video to show you how to access SoundCloud. I think one of the really fun things about teaching an online class is that we get to engage in new kinds of technology. And so in order to break up the monotony of text on a screen, I think that audio recording is one way that we can engage in our community in a different way and share with our peers in just a different way. So it's really easy. All you do is type in soundcloud.com in your address bar, and this is the page that should come up. You'll need to create an account, so just click sign up. And creating an account is free. You can do this by signing in with Facebook if you want to, or you can give them your email address and create a password, and then you'll just need to agree to the terms of use. So once you do that, you'll have an account. When you've created your account, you'll see your name appear here at the top right-hand corner of your screen. From this screen, it's really simple to record your own discussion post. So you simply go to upload a new track, and we want to start a new recording. So we'll click on start a new recording, and you can see here, if you hit record, you'll be able to record your own voice from your computer. You'll need to make sure you click allow to allow the computer to access your microphone. And once you do that, you're good to go, and it will record you as long as you start talking. I would like you to make sure you limit your discussion post to 1 minute or less. So you need to make sure that you figure out what you want to say before you say it. And once you're finished recording, you just click stop and then upload your recording. You can see that you can title your recording. So you'll want to title your recording with your last name. So in my case, I would type my last name and I would type session 2. And you can upload your picture if you want to. You can type a description if you'd like to. For genre, I usually just type education because it requires you to enter a genre. And that's really all you have to do. Keep your setting at public, and then you're good to go. You just hit save, and that will save it. So if you've watched this and you're thinking, creating a screencast and using SoundCloud are just not my cup of tea, one thing you might consider that does use traditional text and typing feedback is to vary it up a little bit by providing feedback to groups of students. So for example, if you have weekly discussion board requirements in your class, you might read your students' postings, and instead of providing a response to each individual student, or even to provide a generic response to the entire class assessing the discussion board postings for that week. You might try to group students by topic, or perhaps some students said similar things in their posts, and if you can group those together and then provide those students with feedback, either by emailing them as a group and providing either a SoundCloud or just texting them on the email, you're really able to model how to synthesize and integrate all of these varying responses that show up on the discussion board for your students. And it also helps students to view connections where they might not have without your assistance. So they can see that by being grouped into the same email response, that maybe these are students that I might have something in common with, or maybe these are students I'd like to pursue this topic a bit further with. But it helps those students in your online class to recognize commonalities that may exist, and helps them to kind of open the door to collaboration with their fellow students in the class. So these are just some practical tips and tools to providing feedback to students in online classes that maybe offer some alternatives to traditional track changes or something like that. And hopefully you'll find these suggestions helpful. If you have any questions, I hope you'll contact me or suggestions for future presentations.